do I still believe that KUSAMA's native cryptocurrency called KSM could still go to the price of $1,000 during the peak of this bull run? The answer to that is yes. And of course, this isn't a guarantee or financial advice, but why do I think so? I think it's going to come down to the fact that KUSAMA has amazing fundamentals. First of all, KUSAMA, it's quite essentially a canary network to Polkadot. Now, what does this mean, right? Usually, projects that typically wish to launch on Polkadot will usually first launch on KUSAMA first as a way to test it out under real economic conditions. However, if a project doesn't want to move on to Polkadot later on, they don't have to do that. Projects do exist on KUSAMA. For instance, we take a look at in the case of Moonriver, which I'm also very bullish on, by the way. But yeah, besides that point. Now, you may be wondering, right? Okay, what does a canary network to Polkadot even mean? KUSAMA is basically a more experimental version of Polkadot, but it's almost an identical version of it as well. So I think that should be taken into consideration. And I think that it should be noted how it's far easier to make changes on KUSAMA when compared to Polkadot. And it's also far cheaper to rent building space on it as well, again, when compared to Polkadot. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits of trying to launch on KUSAMA first, as opposed to just jumping straight head on to something like Polkadot in the first place. Again, right, people usually launch on KUSAMA first to test it out, then they, I would say graduate towards Polkadot. But again, they don't have to do that if they don't want to. Now, some people, they may think, okay, wow, KUSAMA, it's just a test net, that's kind of useless. But I disagree. It actually exists as its very own independent cryptocurrency. So it's not just the, Kaka little brother, if you know what I mean, to something like Polkadot. Now, you may be wondering, right, okay, what's the benefit of something like Polkadot? Polkadot aims to connect blockchains together. It's focused on interoperability. Now, some people, they may think, okay, this sounds kind of complicated. What's this all about? Now, you take into consideration how there's a lot of networks out there, a lot of blockchains out there, but for the most part, they are not able to freely send data and value to each other, which of course means that they lack interoperability. A very famous example of this is Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum and Bitcoin, two independent networks, and they can't freely send data and value to each other. That's where Polkadot steps in and solves all of these, nonsense issues. So that's very fantastic. So when people think, wow, KUSAMA, yeah, sure, it's quite essentially the canary network to Polkadot, but Polkadot is so bad, man. Oh my goodness, it's karayo poha. That's actually not true. Polkadot is amazing, and I think KUSAMA plays a very important role in all of this. At least that's the way I view it. So I still do believe that the future of KUSAMA could look so bright. And KSM, its native cryptocurrency at the price of $1,000 really isn't all that insane. I mean, market cap at that point would be approximately $8.5 billion. I mean, come on, man. We're seeing Dogecoin as of right now. I'm not saying back in 2021. I'm saying as we speak. The market cap is over $20 billion. And KSM, during the peak of this bull run, right? Let's say when Bitcoin reaches the price of $100,000, let's say $150,000, and people start taking profits, right? Flowing it into relatively smaller projects. At that point, KSM, right? Again, during the peak of this bull run, at around an $8.5 billion market cap, really isn't all that insane. And of course, this again is considering its current circulating supply. KSM at the price of $1,000 would have that market cap. But again, it's not a ridiculous market cap, in my opinion, for it to have at that point. Also, you take into consideration how, as of right now, more cryptocurrency owners than ever before in history, according to Crypto.com research, nearly 600 million. And again, when you have over 500 million people owning cryptos, really, the sky's the limit during the peak of this altcoin season. Now, historically, altcoins, they do peak anywhere between 6 to 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Bitcoin halving event, of course, did happen back in April. So I do believe that there's still some time to accumulate KSM. And of course, not financial advice, but even best case scenario, historically speaking, right? That's still October of this year. Now, worst case would, of course, be October of next year. But no matter the time frame, why is it such a bad thing? If let's say, I have more time to accumulate KSM, why not? Because I dollar cost average. Anytime I do earn income, I acquire my favorite cryptocurrencies, I hold, and I just wait. That's it. I don't day trade, I don't use leverage, I don't swing trade, I don't do any of that. So if I have more time again to accumulate something that I love, why not? At least that's the way I view it. I think the sky's the limit for something this amazing, KSM at the price of $1,000. Especially when I consider all of the positive factors that I mentioned in this video, I don't see why not. I think $1,000 isn't unrealistic, and I think that KUSAMA is that incredible. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. And also on top of that, make sure to check out this very fantastic video. I think you all would really love it. It's from Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.